Hey guys, it's Beth, and it's not Friday sadly because I had some technical difficulties. My video was not able to save because it was too long. I got too into my story. So I'm refilming and I'm posting on Sunday, and I won't be able to get into it the way that I did prior in my original video because I ended up talking about it for an hour and a half, almost 2 hours. And so yeah, I'm gonna try to cut it short to maybe like 20 minutes and then edit that. So yeah, this is gonna be like really quick. Hopefully, if I can get through it really quick, because it's just such an elaborate story. So this was my sophomore year of high school, which was a little bit over a year ago. And I won't be able to get like too loud. In my original video, I was like really loud and like into it. My parents are like right here because I was home alone on Friday. No, I'm not. Yeah. Anyway, so this took place my sophomore year of high school, October. It was Hispanic Heritage Month, and it's about Hispanic Heritage Program. And by the way, anybody who was part of this whole situation, I'm not going to be saying your name. Please do not contact me if you end up watching this video. The past is the past. Nobody needs to defend themselves, and please respect like anything like that I say, like my opinion and stuff, because like yeah, you'll see why I'm giving this disclaimer. It's just like a very there are two main people in this story. I'm gonna give them nicknames because I'm not gonna say their name. I'm a decent person. I'm not gonna just say their name out into the world. So the first person is a teacher, and I'm gonna call her Miss Snake because she was just my favorite teacher. I loved her with all my heart, and I thought that she was a very nice person, and I was wrong. What she did to me, I felt like I didn't deserve it. But I mean, of course, I'm not gonna tell her like that she's a nasty person or anything, but to me, she's a snake because she just really wasn't. She did something that was just like, you'll see. And then the second person I'm gonna call Sour Patch because it's the same deal. She was my best friend at the time, one of my best friends. I loved her with all my heart too, and she just ended up going behind my back, exposing me. So yeah, there are a couple other people here and there, but they're kind of like irrelevant. So yeah, I'm not really gonna give them names or anything. Like these are the two main people who, like I just like it hurt that this happened, but it happened. So yeah. I don't want to get into any trouble, so please don't get me in trouble for this. Like, I'm not saying your name. Okay, anyway. So this, like I said, happened in October of 2016, my sophomore year, Hispanic Heritage. I was part of Hispanic Heritage. I was actually in the mariachi band during that time, but I wasn't able to make the actual Hispanic Heritage meetings. So the year prior, my freshman year, I took part, like I had a pretty like big part in Hispanic Heritage where I was in the quinceañera where I had to like dance around. I had wore like this big old dress, and I was in the mariachi band which I played my instruments. So I went to both the rehearsals for mariachi and the meetings for Hispanic Heritage. But my sophomore year, I wasn't able to make the meetings. I just made rehearsals for mariachi. So my freshman year, I told them, because I'm Brazilian, like I stated in my first video for this channel, I am Brazilian and I'm Mexican. So I am all Latina and half Hispanic, and I'll get into that in a bit. But I'm just going to say right now that my freshman year, I told them Brazilians are not Hispanic. It's just not a good idea to put their flag in there. Yeah, just like do your research on the countries that are Hispanic and like make sure that you don't put any that aren't Hispanic in there, just because this is Hispanic Heritage Month and I want you guys to present like factual information, like valid information and like something that like is just like true. I don't know, like you guys will understand what I'm talking about. And then my sophomore year, since I wasn't able to make the meetings, I wasn't able to give that disclaimer to them because I know that a lot of people have different opinions on what Hispanic is, and they might not understand what I was talking about, like what I stood for during this whole situation. So yeah, sophomore year, I didn't really give them a warning of like, hey, do your research a little bit, don't just do stuff like make sure you do your research. Yeah, sophomore year, I was part of the mariachi. I practiced a lot. I went to rehearsals to the point where I actually ended up getting blisters on my finger. Like, I was really working hard for this, and it was such a beautiful program. It was such a beautiful show, I guess you could say. It was beautiful. It was rich in culture. Like, as a Hispanic girl, like, I love Hispanic Heritage Month just because I get to see a little bit more of a side of me that I don't really see often. Because yes, I'm Hispanic. I have it in my blood, but I grew up more Brazilian than Mexican, so I don't really get to see like quinceañeras. I never go to quinceañeras. I've only been to like 2, and then I worked at a few, but like I've barely gone to any quinces just because I didn't grow up around that type of culture. I barely speak Spanish. So I just don't really get to see that side of me often. So I love Hispanic Heritage because it helps me get in touch with that side of me, it was so beautiful, like, honestly, and I was part of it. Like, I would never say anything bad about this program. But towards the end, I played like my little mariachi thing, Celito Lindo and all that, and I actually sat down in the audience to watch the rest of the program. So, I'm gonna put some lotion on. Anyway, so I sat down to watch the rest of the show, and I noticed towards the end that there was a flag march, like a flag march. They had flags. People were holding up flags of like different Hispanic countries, and I noticed the Brazilian flag, and I was like, "Oh, that's not right." Like, honestly, the whole show was beautiful, like I said before. It was just this one little part, like the flag march, that I was like, there's a Brazilian flag. And I noticed throughout the show, they had segments, I guess, or like certain parts of it, like the spoken word poetry was like, I am Latino or Latina, right? And I was like, hold up a minute, like, this is Hispanic heritage. And they're talking about Latinos, and they have Latino flags. So I was like, okay, let me do something real quick. So I did something. I went on Instagram. I took out my little phone and I went on Instagram and I posted a picture of my little Brazilian flag, and I was like, something. Like, I grew up in, like, I honestly like did say a few things because it was just like in the rush of the moment when I saw the flag, I started typing and I posted it. And I said something about like how I, as a Latina woman who's also Hispanic, it sucks that I am kind of targeted or belittled by people, that I'm not able to participate in this Hispanic culture, but people just automatically assume that I'm part of this culture because I'm Latina, because I'm Latin America, because I'm Latin American. Like how people just assume that all of Latin America is Hispanic. So yeah, let me just stop right there, that I posted something that's like what's gonna like start a fire, pretty much. Like, that little post is gonna lead to a chain of reactions that just like blew out of proportion. So let me give you guys a little geography lesson from what I understand, from what I perceive the world as, and can understand the world is categorized as, I guess. So there's Central America over here, right? And Central America is like Mexico, Guatemala, El Salvador, Honduras, and then there's also like Caribbean. Yeah, there's also like the Caribbean that is part of Central America, right? So there's like Haiti, Bahamas, Dominican Republic, Puerto Rico, Martinique, and then there's South America. So South America has Brazil in it, Colombia, Argentina, Chile, Peru, Bolivia, like all of those places, Guyana, like all of those places are in South America, right? So that's like the basic, like continent-wise, Central America and South America. Yeah, so these two, like what we label as continents, are Latin America, from what I understand, because Mexicans are Latin, so from Mexico down, I understand, is Latin America, including the Caribbean and all that, right? Right? Yeah, that's Latin America. So, people who are from these places, from Central America and South America, who live there, are Latinos. That's what I understand, right? But, okay, so that's Latinos. That's what I understand Latinos is. And now, let's talk about Hispanic. So what I understand Hispanic is someone who comes, like, who has Hispanic culture, or was colonized by the Spanish. So the Spanish would be Hispanic. So from Spain, they would be Hispanic because they have Hispanic culture. And then the people who are from countries who were colonized by Spain are Hispanic, who have Spanish culture. So Mexico, Colombia, Argentina, Peru, Ecuador, Costa Rica, Puerto Rico, Dominican, Cuba, Honduras, El Salvador, like all of those that have like the Hispanic culture, who speak Spanish, who were colonized by the Spanish, are Hispanic. That's what I understand Hispanic is. So there's Latin, Latinos, right? Latinas, who are from Latin America, Central America, South America. And then there's Hispanic, who have Spanish culture, Spanish speaking country, Spanish colonized country. That's what I understand these two words are. And Brazil, in general, from where my family's from, I have Brazilian blood. I sound really nasty. Please, I'm not like that. But like me, as a Brazilian, what I understand is that I am Latina because I am, like, my family was, like, they lived in South America, which is Latin America, which is Latino, But we're not Hispanic because we were not colonized by the Spanish. We do not speak Spanish, and we don't have Spanish culture. We do not have quesadillas. We don't have quinceañeras. We do not have we don't speak Spanish. We don't have the Spanish culture, so we're not Hispanic. From what I understand, I never once heard my mom call herself Hispanic. I never once heard my grandma call herself Hispanic. I never once heard anybody call themselves Hispanic because we're not Hispanic. We are Portuguese, colonized by the Portuguese. We are not Hispanic, from what I understand. Saying that Brazil is Hispanic, in my eyes, is the same thing as saying Haiti is Hispanic. It's not. At least in my mind. It's just not. Haiti is not Hispanic. They do not have any Spanish culture. They don't speak Spanish. They were not colonized by the Spanish. They speak French. They speak Creole, I'm pretty sure. They have Haitian culture. They don't know about quinceañeras. They don't know about Spanish, I mean, of course, some people might, but, that's not them. You wouldn't say that Haiti is Hispanic. Saying that Brazil is Hispanic is the same thing as saying the Bahamas is Hispanic. Honey, have you been to the Bahamas? Because I have been to the Bahamas. They are not Hispanic at all. They speak English, honey. They speak English, Saying Brazil is Hispanic is like saying Guyana is Hispanic. Literally, Guyana is right on top of Brazil. It's in Latin America. They are Latinos, but they are not Hispanic. They speak English and Creole, and they do not have Hispanic culture, from what I understand, at least. I don't know. Saying Brazil is Hispanic is like saying Martinique is Hispanic. They're not. They speak French. Bro, it just doesn't fit in my mind. It doesn't fit in my mind. It just doesn't, it's not clicking up here why people would think. I mean, of course, I can understand, generalizing, stereotyping. If you are Latin America, you are Hispanic. But it's boy, just do a little bit of research. You'll understand eventually that, these places are not Hispanic. Like, honey, no. Saying that Brazil is Hispanic is like saying Portugal is Hispanic. No. No. So that's like a little geography culture lesson for you guys. From my perception, let me be your teacher for a second, you know, like, from my perception, this is what I think. I'm not saying that anybody who thinks different from me is wrong. I told you guys when I started saying stuff that this is what I think. That was not cute. That's what was going through my mind when I saw that flag, when I made that post, and when this whole situation happened. So let's get on with this, and let me try to hurry up a bit. This is what happened. So at the time I had about 1,000 Instagram followers, about half of what I have now. I'm not relevant, I'm not popular, so I didn't have like 5,000 or like 32K. And so people started talking. They started talking and they started showing and seeing my post and showing it around. When I saw the flag, by the way, before anything really happened, I went up to Miss Snake, the teacher who played part in this. I went up to Miss Snake and I was like, hey, like, I tapped her on the shoulder. I was like, hey, by the way, this is just like a brush. I don't know why I'm holding it, like, just for fun, I guess. So I was like, hey, Miss Snake, can I talk to you in private after the show? I was gonna address the little Hispanic thing. Like, I was gonna address it to her privately, and I told her specifically, I was like, hey, Miss Snake, can I talk to you privately after the show? So anyway, like I said, so people started looking at my post, sharing it, telling each other about, oh my god, Beth posted, or like, Beth is talking trash about the show. Like, Beth is posting stuff like, we worked so hard on this show and Beth is coming over here and talking trash. First of all, like I said before, I was part of the show for 2 years in a row, and this year I actually got blisters on my finger from how much I rehearsed on an instrument that I wasn't even part of orchestra by the time, like, and that's time, by the way, like, I'm leaving out so many details just because I'm trying to rush. But yeah, so like, I was part of it. I worked just as hard as you. You can, like, sit down for a bit, like, chill out, because I was part of it too. So anyway, so yeah. So word got around, and eventually Miss Snake saw the post, and she was not happy. She got really upset. Okay, what did she do? Instead of just waiting for me to come up to her, or like telling me that she's able to talk in private the way that I wanted to talk to her, which I specifically told her, I was like, hey, Miss Nick, can we talk in private after the show? She pulled me out from the audience into the lobby of our theater, because the whole program was taking place in the theater. So she pulled me out into the theater and she went off on me. She went off on me. She yelled at me. She called me racist. She said some hurtful things. And she was this close to me, pretty much. Like, she was really close to me. She just completely, publicly humiliated me because, first of all, like I said, this was not private. This was in the lobby of the theater where, first of all, like, ROTC students in my school, like, greet people on their events and stuff. Like, they were there. So there was a whole group of ROTC. There was a whole group of people who were just hanging out in the lobby because, you know, high schoolers, they just, you know, like to hang out everywhere. There was a whole, like, there were people there. Like I said, like, she even called me racist. And I'm like, first of all, like, we're not even talking about race here. But, like, what I said was that Brazilians are not Hispanic, and it's best for you to just do your research. Because I told her, I'm like, you know, you just need to do your research. But she's like, I spent out, like, this many hours doing my research. Like, I know that everything is right. I'm like, no. Because it's not. Like, at least, like, not in my perception, not from what I believe in, not from what I grew up in. And I told her, I'm like, I'm a 16-year-old girl. Like, I didn't tell her my age. I think I told her I was like, I wasn't even 16 at the time, what I'm talking about. Like, you know, I was like, I lived my whole entire life as a Latina. Like, you should at least, like, listen to somebody who lived their whole life as a Latina. She's like, she gave me her age, she gave me her race, which, like I said, like, we're not even talking about race here. We're talking about ethnicity. We're talking about culture. You know, so this isn't racism. This is me telling you about my culture. She told me that I am a blah 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 woman. Like, don't tell me that I do not know about racism or something. And you know, like that doesn't have anything to do with race, honey. That's about ethnicity and culture, and you just not knowing the difference. And it's fine. I'm not blaming you for that. And I'm not upset about the flag, honestly. If you guys think that I'm upset about the flag, I'm not. I'm upset with what happened to me, and you're gonna see like what else happened to me, because that whole little thing that she did was not the only thing that happened to me, and it sucked. Like, that sucked in itself. So what happened after she publicly humiliated me was that she kicked me out of drama club. She was like, "Get out right now. Don't come back. You're not allowed to be part of drama club anymore. Just goodbye." She kicked me out. And I was in tears. I was crying. I called my mom and I was like, she was at work, and I was like, "Mom, like, oh my god, my teacher called me a racist. She went off on me. Like, I feel so like humiliated. I feel so embarrassed." And my mom was just very confused because like she just didn't know what was going on, you know. She knew that I was so excited about this program, so, and she was in like work, you know, so it was kind of scary for her to see like her daughter crying, or for her to hear her daughter crying. So on the way out, I actually bumped into I don't know if he's like Miss Snake's assistant or what, but he like bumped into me. He's like, "Why are you crying? Whoa, hold up, slow down," because I was, you know, like I was crying. I couldn't even talk, you know, like when you like are all choked up, like I couldn't barely talk. So he was like, "What's going on?" And I was like, "Miss Snake, like she called me racist. She's like going off on me just because I was trying to like, you know, she was misinformed, and I wanted to tell her like that, like I was just giving her some constructive criticism pretty much, and she like went off on me, and I told her that I want to talk in private, but she like, you know, did this whole thing, and like he was like, "I completely understand, she shouldn't have done that. Let's take you to your class, I think." And so like I ended up going to class, and I remember that I was in graphic design at the time. So he escorted me to my class, and I literally just went into class crying. Luckily, my guidance counselor was in my class. Like, I think it was just like pure coincidence that my guidance counselor was in the class. So he was like, "Come with me. We're gonna go to my office right now. Let's talk about it." So I went to his office and I started talking about it, and I was like, I have no idea what's going on. Like, I was just publicly humiliated by my teacher. Like, my teacher just completely belittled me in front of everybody just because I was trying to like say something that she gave the wrong information for, at least like from what I perceived. So he was like, he didn't want to instigate, I guess. Like, he didn't want to cause more trouble. He didn't want to like side with anybody. And that's the problem. Like, oh, no, I'm gonna get into that in a bit. Like, I'm gonna stop. Hold up, Beth. Almost there. So anyway, so he was just like, I understand what you're like stressing about, you're crying about. You just try to forget about it. So I did what he said. I tried to forget about it. But the afternoon came around after school. I had to go talk to my orchestra teacher. This is what I remember. I don't know if this is exactly what happened, but I went to go talk to my orchestra teacher at one point in the day because he's the mariachi director, you know. So I went up to him and I was like, "Did you hear about what went down? Like, I'm so sorry I couldn't make the last performance, but Miss Snake kicked me out of the program." Like, and he was like, "Yeah," and he sided with Miss Snake. He was like, "I think you should just." No, like, he was like, you know, "I don't see the difference between Hispanic and Latino. Like, Brazilians are Hispanic. Like, you're wrong." And I'm like, "You can't tell me I'm wrong if I am 100% Latina and half Hispanic. You can't tell me I'm wrong when I live that truth every day." You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, okay. So, yeah, that happened. They probably had a talk or something. So, anyway, I do not know how long after the program this was. I'm jumping way too far. Like, I've already been talking for 30 minutes, but it's okay. So this is what was happening online. So online, my best friend, this is where Sour Patch comes in. My best friend at the time ended up texting me. She's like, "F you, you B, like, Miss Snake did not deserve that disrespect that you gave her. First of all, I didn't even disrespect Miss Snake. Miss Snake disrespected me because she's the one yelling at me, calling me racist, calling me out, kicking me out, making me cry. Like, she disrespected me so much. Like, I felt so disrespected. I felt like she treated me like I was a piece of gum on the bottom of her shoe. She treated me so badly and nasty. And I'm like, so I was just done with her. I was done with this whole situation. I think it was like the next day or that same day. I was like done with the situation. So I just blocked Sour Patch. Because I'm like, first of all, that's not what real friends do. You do not come up to me saying F-U-B to me. Like, she cursed me out pretty much. Like, she went off on me. It hurt, you know, to see her like that. So I was done. I'm like, first of all, friends do not curse each other out. Friends do not just go, like, assuming things, because she didn't even ask me what was going on. She didn't ask me, like, Beth, like, what happened? She just assumed that I disrespected the teacher. I'm like, would never. Miss Snake was my favorite teacher. I wanted to be an actress at the time. I was so excited to have her class the semester after. I was so excited. I loved her so much. I'm like, why would I disrespect my favorite teacher? And why would you assume that I would? And why would you curse me out for it, you know? So I just blocked her. And she was like, she assumed that me blocking her was me being petty. So what did she do? What did Sour Patch do? She exposed me. Or at least she thought she exposed me. I don't even know what she thought. Like, I don't even know what she was doing. But what she did was she took my post, she took our the text, she took all this, and she just started saying that I was disrespecting Miss Snake. And she like was like, you want to be petty? I'm gonna be petty too. I'm like, first of all, I'm not even being petty. I'm trying to like keep sane right now because I just got publicly humiliated by my favorite teacher. And while all this was happening, I got dozens of comments on my post saying, with all due respect, instead of like making us all look bad, you should talk to Miss Snake. And then like a whole bunch of people just debating in my comment section, telling me that I'm wrong, telling me that Miss Snake didn't deserve the disrespect, telling me to fuck off. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to curse, but like that's what they were saying. Like, it was really nasty, like telling me things that like didn't really, like, just people in general were telling me like these weird things. And like of course, like on my profile, a lot of them were actually being nice, like, you know, with all due respect, blah blah blah, but like they were saying things that just weren't true. Like, I didn't disrespect anybody. I didn't mean to make anybody look bad. I was part of the program. Why would I want myself to look bad if I'm part of the program? Why would I, first of all, like, why would I be racist? It's not even a race. Like, why would I be like this to Hispanics if I'm Hispanic myself and I love this program? I'm like, first of all, like, you got your facts all wrong. Like, check yourself, honey. But whatever. So on my profile, like, this was all happening, and then Sour Patch exposed me, and people started commenting on Sour Patch because, you know, what high schoolers do, they just love the tea, they just love exposing. And they started doing, like, making jokes. They were actually cursing on her. I remember that they, like, cursed on there. Like, I remember that this one guy, his friend group apparently has this inside joke where they call people fat, right? I don't even know, and I don't care. Honestly, I don't care if you're his friend and you're watching this or whatever, but they have this inside joke where they call people fat, so they all ended up calling me fat. And I was like, what did that even have to do anything? Because, you know, at the time, I was actually heavier than I am now. I was obese, you know, like, I still am obese, but, like, I was heavier than I am now. Like, I'm still on my weight loss journey. But, you know, like, at the time, I was fat, so I'm like, why are they calling me fat? Like, why are they gonna do this? Like with everything that's going on, me being publicly humiliated, me being exposed, me being cursed out, they're gonna add, like, fat shaming on top of it? Like, what the heck does that... Now, of course, I love myself at the time. Like, I still love myself, and I don't care if people call me fat, but I was just confused as to, like, why they're calling me fat. And I didn't know at the time that it was an inside joke. So what I did was I went to my school counselor, and I told them that I was being cyberbullied because these people were sending me like nasty text messages, were sending me nasty DMs, were commenting that I'm fat, were telling like debating, telling things that weren't true. So I told the counselor, I was like, I'm being cyberbullied. Please help me. Like I was like practically begging them. I was like it was in the middle of the school day, and I was like, please, like I just can't take this anymore because like people do not know what they're talking about. I'm being cyberbullied. I want this to stop. Please just help me stop it. I was desperate at that point, you know. I know that it sounds dramatic, but it's just that, you know, I didn't do anything. So why am I being treated this way? Why do people think I deserve to be treated so badly if I didn't do anything? So I went to the counselor, and this is like a new counselor. I didn't know this lady. And I told her, I'm like, I'm being cyberbullied because of this. And I told her the situation, and I told her everything. But this is what is wrong with the American public school system, is that they give, like just the educational system in general, they give so much power to the adults that if an adult does something to a student, the students can't even back themselves up because the people just automatically assume that the adult is correct. So the counselor went behind my back. Instead of just trying to help with this whole situation, she went to the teacher, Miss Snake, and she was like, Beth, like, what is the deal with Beth? Like, why is Beth coming up to my office saying stuff about you? And of course, Miss Snake was, I'm pretty sure, was like, oh no, this student was being disrespectful, was talking back or something. Like, she said something about me that the counselor came back to me and was like, sorry, I can't help you. Miss Snake says that you're being a disrespectful student, so I'm just gonna leave it at that. And I'm like, not once did I disrespect her. And I really need help right now because I'm being cursed out, I'm being fat shamed, I'm being called out, I'm being exposed, I'm being publicly humiliated for something that, like, why do I deserve this? Like, I do not deserve all this to happen to me, and you're not even gonna try to help me. You're just gonna side with the people who are making me feel like shit. Eventually, she listened to me, and the two students, the one who was fat, like, called me fatty because it's an inside joke, and the one who exposed me, Sour Patch, they both came into the room, and long story short, they ended up ganging up on me, kind of. They, like, both, like, started yelling at me and telling me that I'm wrong, that I shouldn't have this. Like, first of all, they were mainly talking about the flag, right? And they were trying, because their side of the story, and I understand what they're saying with it, is that they want to honor all Latinos in their program, right? And I'm like, okay, fine, I get it, and I did not want to fight with them on it, but I just wanted to ask them straight to their face, why did you curse me out? Why did you start calling me fatty? And I understand it was an inside joke, but why did you feel the need to do that? Why do you guys think, like, why do you guys feel like I deserve this? Why do you guys feel like I deserve all this? Why do you guys think? And they just wouldn't listen to me. They were stuck on the fact that, like, they were stuck trying to argue with me about Brazil is not, like, is Latino, but we wanted to honor all Latinos. I'm like, that's not the problem here. The problem here is that I was publicly humiliated. The problem here is that I was cursed out. The problem here is that I was fat shamed. The problem here is that I was exposed. The problem here is that I was so disrespected and nobody gave a like, nobody cared. So the counselor ended up siding with the two students, and since they pretty much ganged up on me, it was them two versus me, and the counselor sided with them, and the counselor actually saw her laughing at me while they were making jokes about me. So what did I do? I called up my mom, and I was like, Mom, like, this isn't working out. It's been, I don't even know how long it had been at that point. I don't know if it was like a week later, a month later. I don't think it, like, was a month, but, like, it was a while later. And I remember I was like, Mom, like, this isn't working out. I'm really upset right now. Like, nobody has apologized to me. I've just been sitting here thinking about, like, what did I do to deserve all of that? So my mom, being, like, the amazing woman she is, she was like, I'm gonna go to your school and I'm gonna talk to them, and if I have to go to the extent of suing the school because you're being treated this badly, then I will. So my mom ended up going to the school and, like, telling them, like, my daughter, like, she's just standing up for what she believes in. She was so proud of me for, like, you know, standing my ground and standing up for what I believe in, because this whole time I could have backed down and just been like, whatever. But I don't believe that I should have been disrespected as much as I was because of just me talking about my culture and standing up for what I believe in. You know, the problem is not what I said. The problem is what people did to me because of what I said. So my mom was like, you know, my daughter was just standing up for herself, standing up for her culture, and like, she didn't deserve that. So if you guys want me to like sue, I will. Of course, they got scared, so they were like, you guys can talk to an administrator about it. And we did. We talked to the administrator. And so this guy came in, the administrator, and was like, I apologize on behalf of the school and on behalf of the teacher for what happened to your daughter. And of course, like, it meant a lot coming from him because he's an administrator, like Miss Snake. Like, Miss Snake is down here, the administrator's up here. Of course, like, it means a lot coming from him. But I, to this day, just don't feel like, because I never really got closure from it, I guess, because Sour Patch still looks at me every day with a nasty face, and I'm like, whatever. It's not like I want to be her friend anyway, just because she treated me so nasty, but I at least wanted, like, an apology, like a sincere apology, because she said that she was sorry with the counselor, but you guys heard how that ended. Like, they acted like I was a joke. And then Miss Snake never apologized to me, and I'm just like, are you serious? Like, I understand that. Like, I'm fine with the administrator apologizing, like, fine, that's okay. But you are my favorite teacher. I gave up drama because of you, because I do not want to deal with your disrespect. I do not want to deal with your, I'm not even going to say it. I just don't want to deal with it. Because what you did, what she did, what Miss Snake did was just so hurtful to me. And I know, like, please, nobody, like, please just, it's the past. The past is the past, and I don't expect her to talk to me. I don't want anybody to talk to me about this. I'm just telling you guys a story because, like, this was a wild ride. And the original, I had receipts. It was fun. I was yelling about it, but now, like, I'm actually serious. I'm talking about it, and it hurt, you know, and it just sucks that nobody apologized. It just sucks that I never really got much closure out of it, but yeah. So, yeah, that's where it ended. The administrator apologized on behalf of the school and the teacher, and yeah, that was my story. I hope you guys enjoyed. I probably didn't go over everything. Yeah, I'm probably missing a few things just because my other one was so detailed and exciting, and today I'm just like trying to keep quiet a little bit. But for the most part, that's my video. I'm gonna try to edit this down to be a lot shorter than the one I had before. And yeah, I'm so sorry for the technical difficulties. I'm so sorry that I'm posting on Sunday and not my day. From now on, I'm really going to try to keep my videos shorter so that this doesn't happen, because I don't want it to happen. It's just that, you know, what can you do? So yeah, I love you guys with all my heart. Thank you for watching. Make sure to subscribe, like this video, comment down some video ideas for us. Comment down whose story was your favorite, whose story made you cry, who made you laugh, who made you think, I don't know. Comment on something fun for us to go through. And yeah, I love you guys. See you guys next Friday, not Sunday, hopefully. Yeah, I love you guys.